Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs. I go by the name of Caution, Mr. 700. We in the building with my brother Ayo Clark. I don't have your intro on this board yet, so don't judge me yet. You know what I'm saying? We'll get there. You know what I'm saying? Niggas know who you is. And we got a guest in the building. I really don't like to say guest, especially when it's people that we know and consider family. You know what I'm saying? But we got a guest in the building. I got my brother Miguel Adon, aka Migi, in the building.
Are we going full government?
Yep.
The whole shebang.
How you doing, my G? What's the fucking deal?
Man, I'm blessed, brother. I'm blessed. It's been a long time coming, but
that's a fact. And I feel like this should. I think the first time, and I will say, for us especially, the first time we did this, I think we were still kind of learning our way with a lot of the podcasts and shit, right? So shout out to my brother Smalls, you know what I'm saying? Hey. We were in the dungeon, you know what I'm saying? And I think we had Z-Star filming for us too.
Yeah, the very first.
And so funniest part about it is I lost the audio to the first podcast got fucked up. And shout out to my brother Chronicle Productions in the building as well. Hey. Never forget the other man behind the camera, always helping out, making sure shit's straight. But somehow the fucking audio got corrupted, bro. And so all we had was the camera audio. So I did the best I could fucking do to kind of edit the camera audio, and that shit was it was hurting my soul because we talked about a lot of shit, and like all that shit was kind of for not damn near. Like, so I wanted to get you back in, make sure we do the shit the right way, you know what I'm saying? And plus that gave you some time to kind of build, you know what I'm saying, from where you were to where you are now. So tell the people what you do, bro, and like, you know, just who you are in general, man. Let these people know, because this is not so much an introduction, but more so a refresher, a reminder on my guys. So let the people know what you do, man, and who you are.
All right, my name is Migi. Caution already gave my full government, so y'all can go and look me up.
Look them up.
But I'm a producer, songwriter, based here out of Dallas, Texas. I've been working for a while now. I've been in production now, music production for 21 years, bro. I'm celebrating 21 years this year. I've worked with a lot of Dallas artists, most notably Jason Lyric. Shout out to Lyric. Also had a couple placements, a few artists you might know.
Facts.
A couple songs that went viral on TikTok.
You know what I'm saying?
Blessed enough to do this full time. All glory, praise, and honor be to God.
I saw you post something, bro, that was like, was that your resignation letter you posted?
Yeah.
I seen that shit. I was like,
June 1st, 2018. That was my resignation letter. I put my 2 weekend at my job, and I put on there, I'm leaving to pursue my music career.
That's love.
And here we are 5 years later, still rocking.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So how does that feel, bro, as far as that goes?
At first, it's like this mixture of excitement and then absolute fear. That's how I personally felt when it happened. But it was one of the best decisions that I made in my life, and I would say these past 5 years has probably been the most I've ever learned in my life, bro.
How long did it take you to realize that was the best decision? Like right out the bat as soon as you did it, or it was like year 2, year 3?
Nah, first year I would say I was probably in my own head thinking this is the worst decision I've made. It really hit me when you get past that fear and when the parachute opens and then you're not worried about like, wait, I'm not gonna die.
Right.
That's like the moment where it all hits you. And then even then, like you're still flying through the air, right? You're still taking it day by day. But just being able to say, you know, we made it to another year. And then when the accolades come and when things actually come through after the 47,000 no's that you have to get, that's when it's like, okay, maybe I did do the right thing.
So what caused you to get over the initial fear of like doing it? Because I feel like even right now, like I'm on the line, like my toe is on the line. Yeah. As you can see where we are. So I'm kind of there. Like I believe in it enough to invest in it, or I believe in it enough to invest my time in it. But where did you say, all right, I'm done with y'all niggas? You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, there was, okay. So how I feel it happens is when you start thinking about it, the moments that happened there will be little things that will trigger you. That'll be like, you know what? I need to stop. I need to stop having this fear.
Right.
So once your mind gets open up to it, so I remember I was a freight forwarder for a logistics company. Right. And just long story short, bro, somebody talked to me in an email in a way that I was like, you know what?
Yeah, I had enough. I had enough.
Nobody should be talking to me like that in all caps.
Okay.
Like even though it wasn't, and you guys know it's non-verbal language. When you talk in all caps in an email, that's like you're going at somebody.
Don't fucking type to me that aggressively.
Yeah.
Right.
Get offended and shit.
Right.
So things happen like that, and then it starts growing on you, and then after a while, I guess you could say the anxiousness and the wanting to do it outgrows the fear.
Right. No.
And then you start, and then all you need really is just one example. Somebody that goes and tells you, look, bro, this is when I did it. This is how I went about doing it. And then it becomes like actual reality for you. Then you jump. But I would say that moment right before you, because I'm not gonna lie, bro. I remember I sent that email June 1st. May 23rd, I had it typed up and then I deleted it. And I went home that day, but I really thought about, never mind. Let me tell them I changed my mind.
Right.
That fear right before you get it, as long as you can overcome that one, then you're gonna do it.
Gotcha. So what are some of the hurdles that you can tell an individual that goes into it? Because I know sometimes you think about entrepreneurship and like being your own boss. A lot of people see the positive sides of it. What would you say would be some of the things that you would want people to be mindful of going into it?
I would say before you go into it, entrepreneurship is life planning. That's the one thing I would tell everybody is this. You got to look at where your life is right now. Because when you become an entrepreneur, everything in your life is going to be based around what it is that you're going to be doing for your entrepreneurship. Whatever it is that you're going to be doing. Truck driving, you want to start a moving company, whatever it is, you got to look at your life because you can't ever look at it where you're at right now. Right. So the advice I would give everybody, and this is not even from music, think about, number one, family status. Where are you at right now? Where are you going to be in 5 years? Money, I would tell people, do not worry about, because if you're an entrepreneur, you're going to be broke. Don't worry about it. Even when you make money, you're going to be broke because you're going to have to put that. If you want to be successful, you're going to have to put it back. And so money should not be a concern. First, think about money. First, think about your family. Don't worry about money. And then two, have attainable goals and have a list of things that you want to do within that first year, going up into year 5, year 10, year 15. Have those goals. Also know that those goals may change, from year 1. What you're going to see on year 5, you're going to be like, actually, man, we can do that probably by year 3.
Facts.
So let me go ahead and let me set new goals, and just know that everything that you thought about and everything that you planned will change. So I would say, a lot of people, I guess that's why I say goals over planning. People are like, wait, what do you mean? You're just gonna go out there without a plan? It's just like Mike Tyson said, bro. Everybody has a plan. Everybody got a game plan till you get punched in the mouth. And that's how business is, or entrepreneurship. Man, you're gonna have a plan. By yeah, I'm gonna do this. When you go out there, everything's gonna fall apart, and then you're gonna be like, wait, what? Exactly. Then you gotta find a new lane, new things to do. So that's what I would advise everybody. But I will say this. Anybody who jumps, everything that you want to do in your life, no matter what dream it is, whether it's in the arts or business, if you're willing to jump, even if you fall, when you get your second jump, you're going to be way more knowledgeable and way better. So even if you fail forward.
That's heavy. And I think that's the initial fear. You say you look past the money, and I think that's the part of it that people can't look past, because you're looking for that instant gratification, that return on what you feel your worth is on top of that. You see what I'm saying? And I think that falls into the more so your field as well as a producer. Like, how do you feel with like working with artists, knowing that, hey, this is how I make a living. Like, I'm not trying to link and build, as they said a few years ago. I'm not trying to be your homeboy. Like, I'm really trying to work here. How is that dynamic with artists, knowing that this is what I do full time? I'm not a hobbyist. I'm not doing this for fun. Like, has there been a disconnect as far as that goes?
Yes, and I would say the first disconnect happens within the producers themselves. The first thing I tell everybody, as far as for production that wants to take this seriously when we talk about the business, number one, there is no such thing as free beats. There is no such thing as free studio time. You have to look at yourself as an investor.
Right.
So if an artist comes to me and wants to work, you're asking me for an investment of my time, of my music, and of my craft, right? And everything that I do. Because now it's not like this is a hobby. This is, every beat is time away from my family.
Right.
So you want me to invest in you? Okay, cool. Let me see what your company is doing.
Right.
Do you got management?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's the music sounding like? What's the streams looking like? What's your plan? What are you gonna be doing?
Right.
Are you serious about this?
Right.
Right.
That's a very good question.
So that's what I look at now. So I that's the minimum for me. I look at it. Because you're asking me for money, really. Even though we're not doing an actual exchange, you're asking me for a work that, hey, if somebody else gets it, I charge.
It's still transactional.
Yeah, it's still transactional.
That's a fact.
So that's what I would say. And anyone who doesn't understand that, then off top, then I already know I don't need to be working with them because they don't understand business. You're not going to go nowhere anyways. Because if you don't value mine, that means you're probably not going to value yours neither.
Right. And I think, the biggest thing for you all is that most artists feel like they're that nigga or they're that artist anyway. And so that would be my biggest thing, right? Like, I don't have time to talk. And I guess being in the space that I am now, even as an artist, like I deal with a lot of artists.
Right.
And so you deal with niggas and you see they don't value your time a lot of the times. You know what I'm saying? They feel like their contribution to what you're doing is greater than what yours is. So like, even though you're a dope producer or director, like my bars and shit is better than what you bring to the table.
You've ever done.
Nobody's worried about what you do. It's all about me. You know what I'm saying?
We heard about you or not.
I think you got to be a different kind of person to be a producer and to wait on the return on that investment as well, because even if they check every box, right, that still doesn't guarantee success.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's another variable in there as well. Like, man, you could have everything down packed. We can put this shit out there and it could do nothing. You see what I'm saying? Like, so what do you consider as a failed investment?
Okay, so how I look at it is like this. Let's talk about like a failed investment, right? There are artists that I believed in, that I invested in them,
right?
That I was just like, hey, I think this guy's the next guy. I like where they're at. I like the team around them.
Right.
I like where they're going. Put time, put money, put effort into it. Hey, it didn't pan out. I would say number one, I always try to look at, especially when we fail. My personal philosophy is if we're gonna fail, bro, we're gonna fail huge.
Right.
We're gonna fail huge, bro. We're gonna go and try to turn over every single leaf, try to figure out every single avenue. I want as many no's as possible as I can get, because to me, I feel like that's knowledge. So the next time somebody goes, "Hey, bro, guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna do it like this." Like for instance, everybody wants to do the same promo run, right? They're like, "Listen, bro, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get this song. We're gonna put it on TikTok. We're gonna make a stupid video. People gonna dance to it, and it's gonna go viral." All right, bro. I've done that 14 times, bro.
I was just gonna say, you keep a straight face, and even for you, Chad, same shit. Artists shooting videos for artists, like you've been down that gamut as well. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just one of them things that's like, hey, my brother, we tried and like we put it out there, we put a lot into it, but sometimes it ain't what's in the mix. It's the finished product that people wouldn't with. Maybe you need to just go and do some other shit.
Something. Let me ask this real quick. What's the biggest misconception about being a music producer? I mean, they see all the placements, to see you doing your thing with Lyric and whatever other artists you're working with, and then it's like, what is it all that glitters ain't gold?
The biggest misconception I would say about producers is, I would say they kind of have, and this would be, I'm speaking to producers themselves.
Right.
They don't view themselves as brands, and they don't view themselves as artists.
Right.
And that's why, and I think it's also too partly because of what we do. So production, most of the time, bro, I'm in a room by myself trying to make something out of nothing. And that's extremely difficult. So when you're in there, a lot of times, I would say 95% of us, number one, are introverted.
Okay, gotcha.
Right. So we can talk in the studio. Right. But in the music industry or business, to get yourself out there, if you notice, every notable producer, like huge, no matter from what era, you know them, you know their story, you know their personality, you've seen them on interviews.
Right.
Hey, you even hear them on the hooks of certain songs, right?
Them,
You know, you talking about your Pharrell, your Timbalands, you know, the huge guys. Kanye is a producer, Switch. Right. And so that's one of the things that they think like, okay, I'm just a behind the scenes guy. Let me just make this. And that's why most people, I don't even think most producers are not known enough to even have a misconception about them.
Right.
Because most of the time when you mention certain producers, people be like, who's that?
Right.
But I could tell you the song, like, oh yeah, I know
exactly
that
what it is. Yeah.
Right. But when it comes to like guys that are more known, like for instance, like Kanye, you can arguably say is probably the most, polarizing,
facts.
But he understands branding. So I would say that's probably the biggest misconception that these producers have it really kind of on themselves. Because everything else, I'll be honest with you, the misconceptions, I don't think there are, bro. Most of us are weirdos. Most of us are introverts. We don't like to go out. For the most part, that's true. But the misconception is kind of us of ourselves.
Gotcha.
So how does it feel to have like a successful viral type of song? Like, how does it feel to make some shit? And shout out to you for that. And I'll let you let people know what it was, because I know that was something monumental. But how does that feel, bro, being in that space?
At first, it's weird, bro. Have you ever, it's like the best feeling I can say, remember when we were young, whatever video game you were playing, and you lost to that villain at the end, like multiple times, you're like, I'm gonna get it. And then one day, you're on that 6 hour, you're just playing, and then you just beat him out of nowhere, and then you go to the next stage and you're like, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
That's how it felt.
That's dope.
That's how it felt, because I was not, I'll be honest, I was not aware of it until they brought it to my attention.
Right.
And that's where I feel like, because nowadays something can become a hit literally overnight.
Overnight.
So you're not going to know. I had done a song for everybody, listen. I had done a song for Mo. It's called Out of There. He's an artist out of Orlando, Florida. And
with all that, you know what I'm saying?
And what was crazy about it was that I didn't understand it, because I thought the song had already like done everything it's going to do, because we actually ended up getting that song synced on NBA 2K.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is it. Like, amazing, right?
You reached the pinnacle.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, hey, man, this song did everything, that it was going to do. Then out of nowhere, I remember I was at a baby shower somewhere. And these little kids were on the phone, right? And they were doing like a dance video. And I wasn't even like listening to it. And I was like, wait. So I was thinking, like, I went up to them like, hey, how do y'all know my song? How did y'all know it? And they were like, what are you talking about? They're like, yeah, that's my song. I produced that song. They're like, really? They're like, I'm out of there. And they're doing like this dance. And I'm like, wait, why y'all dancing to my song?
What's
and
going on?
They're looking at me like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, don't you know, like, we're all doing dances to the song. So I asked my little niece, I was like, bro,
nigga.
how does
Old guy.
Really was, that was
you know how that's where we at now in life.
That's
I know.
And then I asked my niece, and then she pulled up the song, and I remember she told me like, "Oh my God, you know Charlie D'Amelio?" And I'm like, "Who's Charlie D'Amelio?" She's like, "She's the most followed person on TikTok. She knows you." I was like, "No, she don't know me."
Yeah,
so she's like, "Look, she did a song to you. She did a video to your song." And I'm like, and that's when it all hit me. And then I remember the next day I went to a session, and I asked my guy, I was like, hey bro, like, how do you know like when a song like is going viral or whatever? And he looked at me like, wait, you didn't know your song was viral? I was like, nah, bro. So he goes and pulls up the Spotify, and it was like, I think at that time when he pulled it up, it was like 15 million streams.
Come on, bro.
Shit.
So I'm like, wait, hold on.
Your initial reaction when you seen the 15 million, what was you like? Oh,
honestly,
shit. Yeah.
I was like, man, where's my money?
Where's the bag at? Fuck everything else. Where's the fucking bag for this? That's the other part of it. That's like, I didn't heard about this shit. They go viral. Okay, it's cool. Everybody likes it. Where's the bag at now? Did it drop it on me somewhere?
Right. And so
I'm gonna check my mailbox again.
Yeah. So what was crazy was, so I started hitting up my guys. I was like, hey, bro, how do I monetize on this? Like, I need to be getting this and that. And so then they're like, wait, bro, like, you don't know about like monetizing from, you need all the different types of publishing and royalties, right? So I was just on ASCAP at the time. So what was funny was I go back and I check my email. And so I see an email on there from ASCAP, and it says pretty much like, hey, this song that you registered, actually, we're going to go ahead and it goes under a different registry, right? And And so I started looking, it has all the names on there of everybody. Because mind you, when we did the song, when we just did it, it was just dropped. It was literally, I think, his second project he had ever dropped.
Right.
It was just hey, let's just put it out. Let's see what happens. Nobody thought of anything of it. I didn't even, like, just talking business wise, that was the best investment I ever made. They offered me upfront money for it. You know, they said, hey, bro, we appreciate your time.
Yeah.
And because he was a new artist and he was coming up, I had a great relationship. Shout out to Ayo. Yeah. He's a super producer now. He's the one that did Cardi B WAP. He said,
okay.
I think Give Me Something, the Wiz Khalifa, and Ty Dolla $ign. He's a huge producer. Because of the relationship we had, I was like, hey, don't worry about paying me up front, bro. Like, y'all already have helped me enough. Let's just go ahead and put that money towards the song. And that's what actually ended out kind of helping. And that was even before it went. So that's why when I tell everybody's like, you know, hey, you know, let's just get it viral on TikTok. Like, hey, bro, I did it. Trust me. I'm trying to tell you guys. That is an anomaly on how that how that happens.
There's no formula to it. Yeah.
There is definitely no formula. So that's why I tell people, like, when they, and you know what too, I think that does a disservice when people do the videos, right? When they talk about it, they tell you, like, and you hear it within a minute span, right? So if somebody explains to you something, how they did it within a minute span, in your mind, you're like, bro, I can do that tomorrow. Let me go buy some equipment. Like, let me go, bro. And you're like, no, bro, you don't understand. Like, I was producing for 21 years. That came at year 16. It took me 16 years to do that.
How much drive do you got, nigga?
Exactly.
Yeah, it took me 16 years to do that. And you know what's crazy? You know how that came about? I went to Grapevine Mills Mall. Y'all know that weird store that be selling like incense and then be selling like the weird little instruments. That's what the flute from out of there is. It's a little $5 thing from it that I just recorded as like a joke. Yeah, I'm serious, bro. It was a joke. It was a joke, and I was just sitting there. It really was. Right, so that's why when people tell me like, yeah, we're gonna, I'm like, no, bro, you don't understand like everything that goes into it. Yes, there is an intent, but it was a lot of time that went into that. And I also feel that record was a lot of God, you know,
right?
Because it really popped off. It just so happened that they were at a club where Ronnie 2K was at that same night.
You can't beat that. Right. The odds of that happening are slim.
Right, exactly. So Mo rushed to the DJ and was like, bro, whatever, I'll put whatever in your pocket, bro. Just play this song.
Yeah.
Right.
So when he plays it, then Ronnie hits him up like, bro, what song is this? Like, you know, he introduces himself. Next thing you know, it's on 2K.
So that's a unique experience, though.
So what are the odds? Like, people asking me now, like, you know, hey, bro, how you get a sync license? I don't know. Just me running 2K at a random club, bro.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Facts.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do.
Easy peasy.
Facts. Go pay a DJ.
All right.
I can't tell you. They like, go pay a DJ. Buy a flute.
Yeah, I can tell you what I did. Yeah.
Put it 5.
That should be your, okay, that's what we gonna do. When we cut this, we gonna shoot a video with you, and you gonna give you a step-by-step process of how you went viral and see if it works for anybody fucking else. But no, that's dope, bro. And I think it's a culmination of things. Time spent, hours put in type shit. Right. Sweat equity, as they say. Yes. And just being in the right place at the right time. And then, you know, like you say, it's God's work, bro. So just being a good individual in general and allowing things to come your way is a big deal. So shout out to you for that, bro.
Definitely.
Thank you.
As far as that opening doors for you here in the city, do you think that kind of put you in a different place as to where you were before that?
What was funny was about that song. The best thing about that song was also the worst thing about that song. So we got the sync for 2K, I believe it was October 2019. On February, I want to say it was around Valentine's Day, is when the song went viral. And a month later, they shut down the country with COVID.
That is true. That is true. I forgot. Yeah, I did too.
So everything prior to that was, so how everything works pretty much in the, I guess you could say in the industry is, once you're hot, bro, that's everybody's like, I call it the I always fuck with you moment.
Right.
Because once you get something popping, everybody that comes up to you, no matter who it is, I always fuck with you, bro.
Facts.
right. Like, really? Like, oh damn, I never knew.
Right.
So that happens, and I'm on man, I can't even say cloud 9, because then I don't know if y'all also remember, I'm also doing day and night at that same time.
Shout out to you for day and night, bro.
So my producer event is going like crazy.
Right.
I got this going on, so I'm like, oh, that's it.
Facts.
I'm about to blow up. Like, this is it. My life is about to change.
Yeah, I'm about to blow up. Nigga. Fuck.
Yeah, like and then I remember we got they had posted on there, I think it was like we were on the Spotify top 50 records in the country, and I'm like, oh, that's shit. Yeah. Spotify, come on. So how I was explained was, once you get that, don't worry, they're gonna come and find you, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, all right, cool. I waited by the phone, bro. Listen, that was 3 years ago. They still haven't called me.
Still haven't called.
Now, locally here, I would say, because of how it happened with a pandemic, usually, bro, once you get that moment, and once again, this is why I talk about like production, right? Knowing yourself as a brand. Being fully honest, because of pandemic and how everything was going at that time, I did not fully maximize.
Gotcha.
I would say on that moment, because even though the song was big, everything else that was going on was so much bigger.
Facts.
Than that. And so, I mean, I thought about doing like, hey, let's do the video, let's do this and that. And I was just like, wait, how do I even go about, doing that? So that's why I was kind of repeating myself again, the branding thing. And it didn't happen. But what was dope was that I think locally here in the city, even though I didn't have a big record, because of the records that I had done with Lyric and kind of being that early in the stages of him, kind of already had me, I guess you could say, like, to where people were like, hey, no, I think you should rock some Migi. That, and I would say, man, and the beat battles.
Shout out to the fucking beat battles. Listen, man, I tell people all the time, especially when they bring up producers, and every time I mention you, I always get that look of like, Migi, is him produced? Does he do such? And I'm like, nah, that's not him. Like, you'll know when it's my guy. Like, that's not. And then even certain people that I rock with now, like even when I was talking to Rakim, I had no clue that you and Rakim ever knew each other.
Right.
I had no clue, bro. And that was like, when I was talking to him, he trying to explain to me who you are. And I'm like, nah, bro, I know who the fuck Migi is. Like, even I don't know music shit. Like, I know who the fuck Migi is, bro. Like, what are we talking about? So I think, grassroots type shit, working your way up, but the beat battles, come on, man, you can't beat that. No. Like, that time and era can never be duplicated or replicated, bro. I'm sorry.
I agree.
I wish he could come back, and shout out to Campy and Bond for all the shit he does to keep that shit going. He's probably the only one of the few people that's still doing it.
Right.
But even then, bro, you talking about like producers filling up venues, got everybody live at they drops and like coming with beats specifically made for it. Hell, I met Cardo at a beat battle at one of yours, bro. I met Cardo at one of your beat battles. Facts, you know what I'm saying? And that, you know what I'm saying? And just them type of atmospheres and experiences, bro, going through it. So it's dope that you got a chance for that. And then just like you say, all the shit you did with Lyric, and not even to overlap any of that, bro, but talk about Day and Night and tell people what that is for those who don't know. Because I wanted to get to that before we got out of here. Like, let people know what that is, bro, from start to finish.
So as a producer, I made a lot of mistakes. I'm in this, like I said, 21 years. I made a lot of mistakes, and I started noticing within the industry, especially producers and writers, artists too, as far as when we're on the come up, a lot of people feel that with the information, they're like, okay, listen, I don't want to give you guys the information. We want to work for the information. And if not, if you can't work for the information, then you need to cut the $600 or $700 to come sit down on this chair.
Pay the piper.
Exactly.
And so since I had done that so many times, matter of fact, shout out to Caution, bro, because you came my first ever iStandard showcase. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, at Gas Monkey?
Yes.
Yeah, that shit was live though. And it's crazy. I always wanted to perform there after you did that, and I never got a chance to. That whole at the ill stage walking out. Yeah, shout out to you for that.
Is it still there?
It's there, but I don't know if people. Last show I went to there was Nipsey Hussle, so that show you last time I was.
Big Nip, rest in peace.
And that was prior to like Famous Nip. Like that was like Crenshaw tour type shit. But no, that was the first time I'd been there when you did that shit. That shit was live too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit was super live too.
And honestly, bro, I want to tell you something. That's why for you, bro, I always have the investment, bro. Like I look at you like as a what do they call the people like the original investors, like in a company that it's like, hey, no matter what,
your grandfather,
their grandfather. Yeah. That's how I feel about you, bro. Because I don't know if you know this, but I used to be in a production duo, and when I went solo here, you were the first person, bro, to give me an opportunity to work. Yeah,
that's crazy, bro.
That's super dope.
That's fucking crazy. Shout out to that. Listen, I remember a lot of people asked me about, because that was we started on that when we were doing what project is that primarily? That was the Untitled shit. And so like for a while, bro, I was doing shows like across the country. Like I remember vividly, we did a show in Atlanta at Centennial Park, bro. People know where Centennial Park is. It's like right downtown. It's the biggest it's Olympic Park.
How you just casually shitting on everybody?
No, not like that, bro.
Across the country, my nigga.
But no, listen,
this is Atlanta real
this is the reason I bring this up, because I never got a chance to tell you this, and this is like the illest shit. The hotel we were staying at, I can't remember, and I had to ask my wife, but we were at a hotel. It's near the park, right? Mm-hmm. And this is for Juneteenth festival, which is a huge festival in Atlanta. So I'm doing a sound check. It's like 11 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And so they're sound checking Be Who You Are. And the beat, the doom, doom, doom. So that shit is playing. My wife is like miles away in the hotel. She's like, she called me and was like, am I hearing Be Who You Are in the hotel room right now? She's in the shower in the hotel. And she's like, am I hearing this in the hotel right now? I was like, I don't know, but that's what we playing. Mind you, bro, we are, feels like a million miles away. So I'm like, this shit is beating through the city of Atlanta, bro. Like, I was like, this song is coursing through the veins of Atlanta right now. So I wanted to tell you that, bro. But honestly, and this is just real shit, everywhere I went, bro, I've performed that project and I get the best response from that. So shout out to you, bro, for that.
Hold on. Weren't you there that night when we made that? Yeah,
I'm sure he was.
I'm pretty sure I was, bro.
And it was OZ, other guy. Tony Bell. You know, he's on tour right now with Wu-Tang and Nas. He's like part of the Wu-Tang band. Him, Stone Mecca, like them niggas traveling the country and the world right now, doing that with RZA. Shout out to him, bro. So he's on like 4 of the joints as well. Like, but that's probably the most impactful joint.
Shout out to Caution. Keep shitting on niggas.
That shit, bro. You gotta be able to talk that shit.
Across the country doing shows. I got a nigga on the Wu-Tang Syndicate doing shit.
But listen, we put a lot of work into them songs, bro. Especially like a lot of them songs are my favorite shit. And if you talk to people, they'll tell you like, hey, bro, that was my favorite project from you. And we kind of that shit came as a byproduct of the on the fly shit that we did, me with Rod T and Bash. Shout out to them niggas as well for being a part of that, because that started. And even with Bash, like I met Bash through Clark, I met you through Bash. So it's all the same fucking. You see what I'm saying? So, but no, I think, and I think that's probably why, bro. And not even to harp on it, but I think that's why I'm most proud when I see you moving, because you one of the few people that deserve it, bro. And like I remember we had a conversation one day. We was in your apartments, bro, and we was parked in the car listening to shit, and you was like, bro, if I make it, bro, it's us. Like if you make it, same shit. Look out for me. If I make it, you look. He's the only person that's ever said that to me in life, bro. And so it's like shit. You know, people like that you got to look out for and hold down, bro. And like honestly, from the heart, you one of the most genuine people in the shit I've ever met, bro. So shout out to you for that.
I've been the homie since day one.
Honestly, bro, that's why I came over here today, bro.
It had to happen, bro.
I felt like it. I was telling Clark, I was like, yo, if this y'all's first episode, I feel like it's only right because you were the first person.
The first one, bro.
Yeah,
listen,
come on, rock with me when you was over here, bro.
And it's gonna be a lot more of this. If I don't get an invite to Day and Night, bro, to at least film the motherfucker, I'm gonna get upset.
Listen, day and night is that. But just to explain, so if you're a producer, songwriter, artist here in the area, and it's cool because we've actually had a lot of love from people out in Houston and San Antonio. But pretty much what I do is it's a 2-day, sometimes 3-day. It's kind of like a producer, songwriter, like I said, artist workshop. And what we do there, bro, all day. That's why it's called Day and Night. Because originally the idea we were in an Airbnb making music all day and night. Oh, that's tough. But now we switched it up to where we actually do have I actually just came from a meeting to where we actually were able to get a dedicated, like a content house. That's what we're going to be able to bring back to the original format. But also we have it, we're going to have it at a music school. It's in, I believe in Farmers Branch, Media Tech. Shout out to Media Tech.
Shout out to Media Tech. That's one of my favorite places to go.
Yeah, and so pretty much we're there We usually start about 10 a.m. to 6, and we have like different challenges. So pretty much everybody comes and brings their setup, and then we got like different challenges. Like you got to go around the room recording something live and make something.
Make something out of it.
From that, we got a sample flips.
Is this for people just starting out, or do you have to have your own set? What you gonna do? That type of shit.
One of the best things about day and night, I encourage everybody to be there. If you're just a beginner, I say come on through because you're gonna be people with there that are seasoned, and also the people that are seasoned there. I also advise them, hey, bro, come through. So now that you can be what you couldn't be to somebody else, what somebody couldn't be to you when you were first starting out. Here's your opportunity, bro, to where you can get to be that.
Become a teacher.
That's love. Yeah, and one thing I've also learned. For me, I would say definitely I learned a lot and got better once I started teaching other people. Because once I started getting back to the basics, then I started like remembering things that I was like, oh wait, I forgot about that. Okay, cool. And then that helped me expand. And then also too, I would say with the new generation, especially people that are making music, because they don't approach it the same way. Now I'm getting to learn like new ways and new perspectives on how to approach it. So low key, people think like, oh yeah, they're coming in there like to learn from me. Like I'm being honest, man. I've learned more from everybody else than I've ever given in there,
bro. That's how it always works, though.
Yeah,
it's like you're just not. My bad. You're not just one person. It's like you get ideas from you, and then you take that and spawn that into something, and then 10 years down the line, it's like, oh yeah, I can teach you this what the homie told me, this what this man told me. So that's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the second half of that, I would say, is on the business. So I actually do have attorneys that come through, like music attorneys. I also have like PROs and publishing companies that explain to you, like if you want to be independent, how to collect your own royalties. I have them on there as well. And I kind of wanted it to be a community because I'll be honest, man, we get robbed a lot out here, bro.
Facts.
We get robbed a lot doing, and I don't care, if people get upset, There's a lot of showcases here that are done that it's not about really showcasing the music.
Right.
Because if it really was about that, then you wouldn't be charging me $500.
Facts.
Right?
Facts.
If the shoe fits the shoe.
True. Right. Put that motherfucker on.
Right. And I get it because hustle is hustle, bro. And I get it because everybody got bills, right? So my job is just, for the producer community to kind of inform them on what's going on and also to build community amongst ourselves.
Thanks. That's dope.
One of the things that I'm going to start to get big on now and even kind of expressing it is I kind of did a video on it, but as far as creatives go, bro, and I know for a fact as far as producers and writers go, I think the study that I saw said 69% of us suffer from some sort of mental health condition. And me, myself, having to go through that, because that's one of the things, especially when we're talking about before about the jump, what I would tell everybody too is a lot of the times what you think is going to be important, bro, you start to realize that number one comes family, number two is your mental health.
Right.
I was saying in the video, because once that goes, everything else goes, right? So for instance, a lot of times when you're not creative in the studio, you can still be there for your family. You can still be productive, but once your health goes, you can't be there for nobody.
You got to give it all up. That's a fact.
And we suffer a lot from that because, guys are trying to, pretty much make their dreams come true. That feeling of, if I don't get to do this, I'm not validated as a person, as a man, as a creator.
Yourself. Facts.
Right? And so when all that happened, it happened to me, like when we were talking about, when I go viral, and I thought it was the biggest moment of my career, 2 months later, bro, I was depressed in a room and I didn't get out for like 3 months. Right? So then you ask yourself, so wait, what happened? Well, I had a perception of what I thought success was. And then when I got it, when I figured out, oh, it's not that, then I spent 16 years chasing this. You mean to tell me it's not real?
Crushed by your own expectations. How heavy is fucking that, bro?
That's crazy.
Just think about building these expectations of what success is and you get it. And it's like, fuck, it falls from under you and you still crawling like, damn, that wasn't it.
And
like
it's your own shit. It's not nobody else's. It's yours. Yeah.
That's I never thought about it from that aspect,
that's
bro.
Crazy.
And you wonder, and a lot of people think like, damn, why does successful people always be stressed out and fucked up? It's because these expectations that either self-placed or placed by others that you don't live up to, and then you have to face it when it fails. That's heavy, bro. That's a whole nother conversation too. Definitely.
But we suffer from that, right? And so, and also I've looked, bro. Nobody, as far as from our community, that's in that, and nobody's saying anything about it.
That's something to delve deeper into. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, so that's one of the things now that I'm kind of wanting to go deeper into, because I've seen a lot of issues, bro, with guys where I deem that are successful, right, where it's not money, it's not everything else, and then when I see them, I mean, I don't want to put anybody's business out there, but there's definitely a lot of drug usage, a lot of sadness, and I'm just like, and when you look at it from outside, right, like it's funny, bro, like sometimes nobody ever says I'm broke and I'm blessed, but you should really understand that being broke kind of is a blessing.
For real though, because you're seeing things from a different aspect. You're not necessarily coming in and feeling privileged or like everything should be given to you. You understand that you have to work for it, bro. Like that's, I really, honestly and truly, bro, it's hard for me to work for people that haven't really been through anything to get where they are. If you were handed everything, we have nothing in common. Like if I could be a nigga who moved in next to this studio right now and was like, hey, my pops gave me everything I got and I'm starting everything from scratch. I'll be like, all right, bro, let me know when you ready to work, but you ain't got to where I'm at yet. You haven't because you didn't work to get here. So when this fails for you, which it will inevitably, when it fails for you, you're not gonna know how to come back from it. You see what I'm saying? So that's a big deal.
Fail or you're gonna give up on it.
You're gonna give up.
It wasn't no heart behind it.
I see that even with podcasting, bro. I can name you at least 4 or 5 people that started 3 months ago that aren't doing it today. You see what I'm saying? And not for any other reason as to the expectation they had for it when they started. It dilutes and then they don't know how to come back from that. It's like it diluted a bit and now it's not what I thought it was no more. Let me do something else. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm off that now. So definitely shout out to you for that, bro. And again, the next time y'all see us, if I'm not behind the camera at a day and night, bro, filming and getting this shit. If Chaz put this on if we not there, bro, we pulling up anyway. Cameras in hand.
You know what's crazy? This is what's crazy. I've had 13 day and nights. You know how many of them I've had recorded?
None.
Like professionally? None.
I know because I see them all from you. I see them all on your page and your camera phone and all the shit you do. And that's why I'm like, one of these days. But you know what? I respect it though, bro, because you took the time to build it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of relying on public perception, it was just just about the content and the substance. So shout out to you for that, bro. And
let me ask you a question real quick before we get out of here. 50 years of hip hop. What's your favorite part of hip hop? And what was your first introduction to hip hop?
Okay, so just to give a little backstory about myself. So my introduction to hip hop. So my dad's Dominican, my mom's Puerto Rican, and I grew up in church. So that was considered what we call secular music. So you were under no circumstances supposed to listen to hip hop at all. Now, did somebody play it driving past the car? Sure. But I would say my first introduction to hip hop was I believe the album was called East 1999, the Bone Thugs and Harmony. Yeah, so that's my first introduction to hip hop.
That's love, though.
And what was crazy was that I think that shifted or that kind of molded how I looked at hip hop. Because if you look at Bone Thugs and Harmony, I don't care what nobody says, they were Migos before Migos, right?
Yeah.
So when I hear those harmonies and everything, I'm like, oh, this is like R&B, but just with a little bit more, sauce on it, right?
Yeah.
So I would say then I got turned on into, I guess what you could say, like more the 80s hip hop, what they consider, like the golden area in the 90s. So then when I heard them, I was like, wait, hold on.
Right.
What is
different.
this?
Sounds different.
Sounds completely different, right? So now that I'm kind of in, I guess you could say, man, I study music. I've been studying it from the inception of it all the way up until now, right? And I study music. I guess you could say I study hip hop part of like as music, right? So when I look at a rapper, you know how sometimes rappers, it's kind of funny because like as artists, they're looked at more than just artists. It's like, the social commentary, the fashion, the style,
everything. You have to encompass it all though, because you're presenting it to those who you want to cultivate a following somewhat, not to, you know what I mean? So I get it.
I got a question, bro, for both of y'all. Now that I think about it, is hip hop the only, I guess you could say, form of music that you can also call a culture?
I guess you have to, because I don't know if you can say that country music defines a culture.
What about what's the shit? The goth or heavy metal, death metal?
I don't think it defines. I feel like it is, but do they live that? Are they living that life outside of when they're listening to the music?
Yeah, because hip hop, you're talking about breakdance, MC, right?
That incorporate all the elements, right?
And I think even fashion now is kind of incorporated.
I just say that because the death metal and all that, they wear the black, all the black with the black makeup, the goth shit.
But are there other elements into that, like it is with a DJ and an MC and the breakdancing and the graffiti?
I'm ignorant on that aspect.
I think so. I think hip hop will be the only one that encompasses the entire culture of what it is.
And I would say that that's kind of like the importance of of hip hop, and not even that. Because I think it went past music to be.
Oh yeah.
Because if you look in other countries like Tokyo and Germany and stuff like that, even death metal, like I would say the goth people, they're not even overseas like that. You only see that over here. Maybe a sprinkle over there.
But if you see a little Asian guy, dressed like Migi is right now, you're gonna be like, you're gonna be like that nigga's listening to Wu-Tang right now.
He gonna have shell toes, Air Force Ones on some.
Or you gonna have some fucking babes on and be a fucking Pharrell or Neptune's fan or something.
Baggy pants, something.
Facts.
Who was it that they were talking about? They're not a rapper from now, but they were from before. They said that they still touring in Europe.
Oh
that
yeah,
they make more money over there. In Europe. I seen
an article that was very, very interesting, and we can get into this another show because this is something I want to dig into too. It was about how the younger generation of artists right now, even the popular ones, are having trouble selling out venues, while the older generations are having these glorious tours right now around the country and the world.
Like 50.
But you got people that can't sell out stadiums here in the United States. And I thought that was a very compelling. So you can, your streams are high and all of that, but 50 Cent can go on tour with Busta Rhymes and they can sell out every venue that
These
they
two
in.
old niggas, y'all.
I think that's a very interesting. I do want to delve into that, man. It's so much more we got to talk about, Migi, and I'm glad you came out tonight, man. We appreciate you coming out, bro. This can't be the last time. No. You know where we at now.
Okay.
We don't close the windows for people who can't see. So when you look up here, you see what it is. But no, my brother, I appreciate you coming out. Anything you want to let the people know before you get out of here, where they can find you, all that great shit?
Yeah, social media. IG I'm most active on. That's Migi Music, MIGIMUS. IC. Follow me on there. I'm actually looking to expand also as well on my content game. So I got a YouTube currently that I'm working on. I'm actually redoing my studio at home to kind of be like a music / like a content creation studio. Yeah, that's it, man. And if you're a local producer, writer, artist, and you want to come to Day and Night, follow me on the social medias. Or you can also hit up Day and Night, and that's DAYXNITE info@gmail.com. If you have any questions about it, you can reach out to me and my team there. And I just want to say thank you to both of you guys, man.
Appreciate you coming out, my brother. You know what it is. It's your boy Caution, Mr. 700. I'm in here with my brother Ayo Clark.
Wow.
We're also in here, Chronicle Productions Behind the Lens, man. Appreciate y'all watching, checking us out. Y'all have a good one.